Well, good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Antoine Cunningham, Audiovisual Media Manager at the National Training Agency. And I am super excited today to be in the nation's second city, Grand Bahama. And I have the pleasure of being joined with some awesome people over here in Grand Bahama. And the first in that bunch is our manager here at our National Training Agency office in Grand Bahama, Mr. Kenneth Miller. Mr. Miller, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Good evening, Bahamas, and good evening to the world.
Yes. Listen, every time I talk to Mr. Miller, I get excited. And I just remember why I'm working to the National Training Agency in the first place, because he's definitely somebody that reminds me why we are here to do what we do in the National Training Agency. And that kind of brings me to my first question. Tell me a little bit about Kenneth Miller. How did you become interested in the National Training Agency, and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, one of the key things that I would love to share about myself is the three phrases that I normally lean on. I'm the apostle, the administrator, and the author. Those three aspects of who I am embody my passion for training and development. As a 15-year veteran youth leader in the community and a certified youth practitioner, sitting down in the office one day at the Ministry of Youth, and I knew that my season had come to transition into a new phase of my career and to empower young people in a different forum.
Yes.
And when I thought about that forum, the National Training Agency came to mind. And the rest is history. I am so glad that after 2.5 months, so many great things have happened in the Grand Bahama office and all in sundry.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. And if you're viewing us right now, please begin to like and share this video. We're live today on Facebook and on YouTube. We want to get this viewership up. We're going to take a break right now, and I'm going to continue with some more questions with our NTA manager here in Grand Bahama. We'll be back after these short messages.
As Bahamians, we are dedicated to supporting and uplifting our people. We do this by creating healthier communities and improving lives with a team of dedicated medical professionals with an array of subspecialties. We provide patient-centered, high-quality, holistic healthcare with state-of-the-art equipment across our network, including outpatient surgery and treatments, our industry-standard kidney clinic, imaging, pharmacy, ambulance, rehabilitation, and laboratory services assist patients across our beautiful island. As we celebrate our nation and all that makes us proud to be Bahamian, we do so in love and unity. Like the strong, resilient oak tree, we stand with you when you need us. We are more than medical. We are community. Oak Tree Medical Center, caring, compassionate, complete. Visit us at www.oaktreemedicalcenter.com.
And we are back. If you are just joining us, I am here with our manager in the Grand Bahama office in the person of Mr. Kenneth Miller, and we're talking about all of the great things that are happening in Grand Bahama through the National Training Agency. Mr. Miller, I'm excited.
Yes.
And I'm even more excited to actually be on site in the National Training Agency. I told them I was coming back.
Yes.
So what I want to find out from you, Mr. Miller, what do you believe sets apart the National Training Agency from other training places that do training out there? What sets us apart?
What sets the National Training Agency apart is two primary things. One, our focus points. We are focused on reaching young people between the ages of 16 to 30 who need a second chance.
Yes.
Envisioned in the belly of our dear executive director at the time, Ms. Agatha Marcel, who is the founder of the National Training Agency. She saw a focus that needed to be addressed, and that is the workforce gaps. So not only are we training, but we train with a specific purpose, and that is to reach those persons, one, who need a second chance, but two, those who are entering into the workforce. Our training, the second thing that sets us apart, is how we train and our content in training. Every module in the 14 modules of our mandatory workforce preparatory program is geared towards making an individual efficient and proficient when they enter into the workplace. So when you see an NTA trainee, soon to be graduate in the workplace, compared with others who may have been trained, you'll see a different kind of style and approach to their work and their ethics. So our content strengthens them in a different kind of format. Primarily, we have the City and Guilds training. All of our courses are NACOB approved, yes, and they are all geared towards strengthening them for the workforce and giving them the skills. That's the biggest part. They get a skill that they could utilize throughout their life. So second chance, skills training, soft skills training, and work preparation proficiency is what sets apart the National Training Agency.
Wow, that was definitely a mouthful right there, and I can see why persons here in Grand Bahama would want to be a part of what's going on here in the National Training Agency. So that brings me to my next question. If I am a young person out there, I'm interested in NTA here in Grand Bahama, how can I go about registering? How can I be a part of what you're doing?
Well, Bahamas and all of our surrounding countries who are a part of this movement, I challenge you to go right now to ntabahamas.org, and you could click on the Grand Bahama section and register. It's an easy, seamless process that gets you going, and then afterwards you are met by the incomparable Darielle Higgs and Yvonne Forbes, who carry you through the final stages of registration. So you could go online and register, and you could come in person and also register. And either which way, you get to experience the personal touch that we have here at the National Training Agency. So don't wait. Go and register now. Cohort 17 is on the horizon. We're going to talk more about that in a minute.
Man, he made me want to pull out my phone right now and register on the website. You got me so excited. So how about the duration? How long does the training last?
Our training programs are short in comparison to the lifetime of experience and wealth you're going to garner from our training. So for 15 weeks, we take persons under our tutelage. For 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks are geared towards the soft skills training I spoke about earlier. So we're strategic in molding and preparing you so that when you enter the workforce, you have the right attitude and the right understanding on how things should function. And then the remaining 10 weeks, you go through a set of training in a skill area. Right now, Mr. Cunningham, we have office procedures, City and Guilds, and we have non-instructional teachers aid with Ebenezer College, office and procedures with Ms. Thea Moss. These two particular groups right now are going through rigorous training, and they can enter private and public sector and function at the highest degree. So can you imagine in cohort 17, when we have housekeeping and also food and beverage, Celebration Key, Grand Lokai and Pelican Bay will be grasping for you because you're properly trained.
Wow.
But Mr. Cunningham, it doesn't end there, sir. The last week, we go into practical internship. So you put what you learn into practice. And it is well known that if you showcase yourself to that employer, you may just get hired. So before you finish the program, there is the potential to not only be trained, but to become an employee if we work hard and display ourselves. So 15 weeks of rigorous training for NACOB approved programs that are free.
Wow.
Man, you can't beat that.
No.
Come on down, register right now. ntabahamas.org and come on board for cohort 17 that starts in September.
Wow. Listen, I'm ready to register. I am ready to register. I could tell you, I can't imagine why any young person out there who needs this employability training and looking for a job, I don't understand why they wouldn't give NTA a chance, but we're going to be back after these messages, and then I have one more question for Mr. Miller.
While tourism remains the leading industry in the Bahamas, trained and certified butlers are needed by many of our leading hotels. As a butler, you must be focused, disciplined, and committed to service with excellence. If you are interested in becoming a butler today, visit NTA on Gladstone Road and Munnings Drive, or give us a call at 461-6000.
And we are back. If you are just joining us, I have been joined by our National Training Agency manager here in Grand Bahama in the person of Mr. Kenneth Miller. And we've been having an exciting conversation talking about what is happening in the island of Grand Bahama. And believe you me, if you missed this show, please, after we are finished today, go back. Rewind, because you don't want to miss what he has already shared with us. We're live today on Facebook and YouTube. Continue to like and share this video. So my last question for you today, Mr. Miller, you've talked about the advantages of the training and what persons would gain through going. And I am sure over the years, NTA has partnered with employers, persons that need some persons to work. So tell me about some of those people who NTA have partnered with and even some new relationships that you may be trying to build.
Well, we are grateful for major partners such as the Ministry for Grand Bahama that has opened its doors, specifically the CoLab Center doors, for us to offer the training to those young persons, and continues to communicate with our department to provide opportunities for these young persons. We're also excited for the partnership of the Department of Labor, our sister department under this ministry, who came and did interviews and made sure they were in the public employment database for jobs across the country as well. We are also partnering with several other entities to which is to come. And as we continue to go forward, we are going to be able to say at the end of this experience, not only did they intern, but they were intentionally positioned for opportunities for employment.
Wow.
So those are some of our major partners along the way. And we'll be surprised. I got an update. We have someone right now prepared to hire one or two of those young persons.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
I don't want to spoil it before graduation for them. But all I will say is, we have partners that are on board and positioned to get our young people ready and make sure they are received as they go into the workplace.
Wow, that's some exciting stuff, and I was most excited to hear that even before the training is finished, that some people are already interested. So that tells you that you're doing something right. Mm-hmm. So I am so happy that I've had this opportunity to speak with Mr. Miller. Our show is not done. We're going to be back after these messages where we're going to actually have an opportunity to talk with some of the training providers and also some of the trainees that are currently enrolled in this cohort here in Grand Bahama. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you think you are tech savvy? Or do you want to improve your knowledge in Microsoft Office applications? I have some great news for you. NTA is pleased to announce that for the first time, we are introducing a Business Applications and Technology course. This course will focus on equipping trainees with the knowledge and skills needed to work in a high-performance, technology-driven business and office environment. You will learn how to configure and use PC hardware and software, create and edit documents in Microsoft Word, create spreadsheets in Microsoft Excel, create PowerPoint presentations, and manage meetings, emails, and contacts with Microsoft Outlook. Don't you dare miss this opportunity. To register, Visit NTA on Gladstone Road and Munnings Drive. You can also register online at www.ntabahamas.org. For more information, dial 461-6000. Don't delay. Register with NTA today.
Well, we are back, and as promised, I am here with the beautiful Miss Thea Moss, who is the training provider for our office procedures training that's being offered here in Grand Bahama. And I'm excited to be able to have this conversation with you. She's a little bit nervous, but I believe she's going to get into it right now. Yeah, but Miss Moss, I just want to find out from you, how did you hear about NTA and what made you become interested in what we're doing?
Well, interestingly enough, I worked for the government 2020 to 2023, February. I moved back to Freeport because I grew up here and moved away. And I saw the programs being offered. And at that time, I was transitioning into this business. And the young lady that works with me now, I said to her, I'm still on the government job, but I see the NTA is offering some programs. I want you to go and take advantage of that. See if you could get into I think it was the office procedures at that time.
Oh, wow.
And she couldn't get in. And she ended up going into the teacher's aid program.
Okay.
And so I always follow what's going on to build the community, and especially with young people, because when I initially met her, she wanted to work for the government, and I sort of convinced her not to, saying that, tell me, what is it that you want to do with your life?
Okay.
And it didn't align with the goals of that organization she was trying to get into. And then it backfired, because then I was asked, can you be my mentor?
Okay.
And so we got here, and I heard about the NTA, and I sent her into that training. And then the Ministry of Youth had the youth leaders training, and I said, okay, if we're going to be working with youth in my organization, I'm going to take this training, and so you have to take that training as well. And so that's how I became a part of the NTA without being a part of the NTA. I put my assistant through the program.
Wow, I didn't know all of that. That's some good stuff right there. So, Ms. Moss, when I hear office procedures, a lot comes to mind. But I'd like for you to tell our viewing audience, what is office procedures and what are some of the main things that are covered?
Okay, so when we hear office procedures, we think about the first line of defense for any business. That person or those persons involved in the daily running of the office so it can be efficient, so we can meet our bottom lines. And so what we cover is anywhere from telephone etiquette to knowing how to type a proper professional letter, how to respond to an email, how to answer an email, how to fill inventory, how to fix little problems that you don't need IT to fix, so you're now a super user.
Wow.
We talk about understanding the company that you work for from a critical thinking perspective so you can help them reach their goals. So it's not all about answering the phone, greeting the customer, but going above and beyond to make sure this is a well-oiled machine, and that is your role in terms of office procedures. So it goes beyond filing, it goes beyond answering the emails and the phones and greeting the customer. It's trying to make sure that you can be an asset to that company in the efficient running of that company.
And it kind of brings me again into my next question. You already started to cover it. But would you say that this training and the certification that they will get at the end, would it put them in a more employable position?
Oh, definitely.
And why?
Definitely, because when I also asked them, please send me your resumes. And I looked at the resumes and I said to them, when you put this on your resume, when I glance at your resume and I need someone to come and work for me in that entry-level position, I want to know that someone has been trained. I want to know that someone has the experience and the practical knowledge, not just reading the book. And this program puts them through the theory and the practical, and that's why I was adamant that this setup is going to take them from reading and then we're going to actually do it.
Wow.
Because you don't know who you're dealing with, the type of learners. Some may be visual, some may be hands-on. And so I fully believe that the organizations that get these young people, this certification will help them not only just enter the workforce, but progress. Because I'm trying to get them to understand it doesn't stop here. We need to move beyond this first certification. And then even if you want to pursue a degree, we need to talk about that, work toward that. And so I think this is a good program the NTA is putting on for the young ladies here. I would have hoped to see more men, but this is a start.
Well, there you have it, folks. Listen, if you are interested in signing up with NTA in particular the office procedures training that we offer, please visit us online, www.ntabahamas.org, or you can call our Grand Bahama office at 351-6421, and one of the team members there will be more than happy to assist you. Again, I've had the privilege of speaking with our training provider for office procedure in the person of Miss Theo Moss. And you heard about all of the exciting stuff and everything that's offered here. Listen, if you're interested in office procedures, and particularly some young men, I know, like she said, she didn't see a lot of young men in this particular cohort, but I know there are some young men who are not interested in the construction and all of the other technical stuff that are out there. But we want you, if you know that you have those office skills or you want to enhance those office and administrative skills, please give us a call. NTA is the place for you. We'll be back after these commercial breaks, and we'll be speaking with some of our trainees.
Do you long for an unwavering sense of purpose and conviction? Repositioned Here to Air by Agatha K. Marcel dispels the myth that to be successful, one must maintain a separate personal and professional life. Learn how childhood interests are strong indicators of the path you will take, and how your fundamental principles and morals will stay with you even through life's detours. Your purpose comes from God, and the closer you get to Him, the clearer your purpose will become. Available at Amazon, your local bookstore, or at trilogy.tv.
And we are back. And as promised, I told you that I would be speaking with some of our NTA trainees that are enrolled in our office procedures training. And I have the pleasure of being joined by another beautiful young lady here today in the person of Miss Kobe Rule. And she's going to tell us a little bit of her experience here. She here in the audience. So Kobe, I want you to tell us a little bit about your experience. Let me begin by asking you, how did you hear about NTA?
Well, I heard about NTA during social media. Like, it was a Facebook ad, so I said, you know what, let me just give it a try.
Now, you've been in training for a few weeks now, and I want you to tell me what are like two of the main things that you would have learned so far during the training that you didn't know before.
Well, one of the two things I've learned are time management and learning how to work with others, especially with different personalities that I haven't learned to before. So yeah, I definitely learned at NTA.
And tell me, what was another thing that you would have learned in this training?
Well, when we discussed customer service, I learned how to be patient in dealing with them, how to remain calm, because like, you know, there are some unruly people out there, but that is just how to deal with it.
Really?
Yes.
I know what you mean, but trust me, I know what you mean. Since you've been in this training, I know you all had a lot of memorable moments, because every time I go on Facebook, I see you all doing something exciting. But what is that one thing that you remember most about the training, that day of training that you can't forget?
But honestly, definitely when we do our live presentations, when we just interacting, and that's how I feel like I'm learning better, especially when we interact. Like when you go on our Facebook page, you'll see a lot of interactions going on with different of us performing, doing those skits. So definitely that's my memorable moment.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I can tell that you're enjoying this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mr. Miller and your training provider is enjoying having you all there as well.
Yes.
Would you recommend NTA? Let's say I'm one of your friends and you telling me about NTA. Would you recommend it to me, and why?
Well, I have recommended my friends already. Some of them already signing up for Go at 17 actually.
Awesome.
And yes, I do. Like most people feel like they don't have, like they're limited, like they can't really do much in life. They feel like, oh, they gotta work in a food store or work pumping gas. But like if you join NTA, you can actually feel like, yeah, you can actually do more in life. Like you're not limited.
Awesome. I hope you all heard that, audience. She said when you come to NTA, you're not limited. Unlimited possibilities.
Yes, you reach the sky.
I love it. Now tell me a little bit more about your future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, in the next 5 years, I will be hopefully on the field of advancing more in project management. So please look out. I will be one of the top project managers that come right from Grand Bahama.
Amen. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
Well, folks, I have been joined by Ms. Kobe Rule, And we're going to be back after another commercial break with another one of our trainees. Thank you, Ms. Kobe Rule, for
It's a
joining.
pleasure.
Are you interested in learning about child development? Or maybe you want to learn how to conduct first-line screening? How about gaining more knowledge on the use of technology as an educational management tool? If that's you, register with NTA and begin your journey to getting certified as a teacher's aide. There is a huge demand for trained persons to assist teachers in regular, inclusive, and special education classrooms. You can register by visiting us on Gladstone Road and Munnings Drive, or you can register online at www.ntabahamas.org. For more information, please call 461-6000. Don't delay. Register with NTA today.
And I am here now with my last interview for the day here in Grand Bahama. And I'm here with Ms. Latrice Knowles, another trainee in our Teacher's Aid discipline. Ms. Knowles, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, yourself?
I am great. I want to talk to you a little bit about your experience at NTA so far. How did you find out about NTA?
Well, my mom saw that on Facebook, and then she sent it to me because she saw the teacher's aid. She know I always wanted to be a teacher when I was small, so she said this would be just a stepping stone to start my career.
That's
And I
awesome.
agree.
Now, what I want to ask you, would you recommend NTA to other young people?
Of
And
course.
why?
Because NTA is a really good program. Like, it is so good that I've been out of school a little while, but it's so good that it gives you so many opportunities in the workforce. Like, a lot of young people, they don't have the knowledge to go on a job, to keep a job, and the NTA is that. So I would recommend it to Grammy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, as we close out this session, tell me a little bit more about your future plans. Where do you see Latrice in the next 5 years?
But I see Latrice being a teacher, not just a teacher's aide, but a teacher to further my career and just help the education system down the best way I can.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you, Latrice, for joining us today for another episode of NTA Exclusive. I've had the privilege of talking with our NTA manager today. I also had the privilege of talking with some of our facilitators and training providers. And now I'm talking to trainees. It has been an awesome day here in Grand Bahama. I almost don't want to go back home. But I'm so happy that I had this opportunity to come over. I encourage you to continue to watch this video even after this session today. Continue to share it with your family and friends. Thank you for joining us here on another episode of NTA Exclusive. Have a wonderful evening.